Welcome back to another episode of Spicy Tales with Kim and Stacy.
Hello.
Um, how's everyone doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
I'm great.
Yeah, so how was your Mexico trip? You didn't
Yes.
even really tell
We
us
never
much about what
talked
happened
about
in
Mexico. So I landed in Mexico on Valentine's Day, which was
Did you
very
do any romantic
romantic.
shit?
Well, they had fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
They had this whole like backdrop of hearts and whatever. It was really cute. I brought my Polaroid camera, but my Polaroid camera was like the lighting was so dark when it was developed. I was so confused, but it's because the battery was low. So all of the pictures
Oh,
came
that
out
sucks.
pretty dark, which was annoying. But we also took pictures on my camera phone, so that was nice. My boyfriend has a superior camera to me, so we actually used his phone. And
Okay, before we even continue, her boyfriend was a hardcore Android guy for the longest. Got his first iPhone, started
and he
acting
thinks
brand
he's
new
better than all
to the
of
point that he's like,
us.
no, let me pull out my
His
phone.
camera is way
Bruh.
better than
I mean,
my
facts.
camera,
It's
so
definitely,
I can't even.
it definitely feels like you're looking at things with your own eyeballs, but like that's not the point.
And then his brother was there, who's terrible at taking pictures. So we were already
like
annoyed
ours?
that he was the one that was taking pictures.
Just like ours.
But he did a good job. So yeah, we had a really good time on Valentine's Day. We went on an excursion snorkeling. We didn't end up snorkeling though, because every other time we go snorkeling, it's like that's the main event. When we get to the island, you can see where you're gonna snorkel, like all the equipment is there. But this time when we got to the island, it was a bigger island and you had to go to another place to snorkel, and they didn't announce it as the main event. So we were just like playing volleyball, went for a walk, and then when we came back, the food was there. And then after the food, we're like, oh, so when are we snorkeling? And they're like, the snorkeling already happened. And we're like, oh shit, okay. But I surprisingly wasn't pissed off because one, my boyfriend and his brother got seasick because it was the waves were crazy. And yeah, that alone and also I had my period the whole entire trip. So I didn't really care if I just didn't care, honestly.
Yeah, also, like, what if a shark got you?
Well, it's supposed to kind of stop at the water,
that's
but
facts.
they just smell the freshness.
If they know.
fresh
They're
blood.
like, oh,
Someone's
someone's out here.
Time of the
It's
month.
dinner time.
Literally. And then what else did we do? We went downtown a couple times. We went to Mazatlan, which is the shrimp capital of the world. So they had a carnival while we were there. So we went downtown for a fireworks show, which was like a 30-minute fireworks show. And it was literally right on top of us. Like I was mesmerized. It was so beautiful. And there was 500,000 people there.
Wild.
And like, even though Mexicans are typically short, there was just a lot of them around. And at one point, I was just, no,
like
short.
Tall people?
No.
I'm fucking.
A lot of them were short. My boyfriend was definitely the tallest person there.
Your boyfriend is the tallest person in most rooms.
Yes.
Like,
and so at one point, I kind of started getting paranoid. And the worst thing about me is I like to avoid a lot of things, even my own emotions and my own feelings. So at one point he was just, I don't want to disturb, like I don't want to be a burden on anyone. And so I guess he noticed that I was kind of anxious. I do this thing where I like hold my hand as a fist a lot of times when I'm anxious or uncomfortable, and he saw me doing that and just being really quiet, and he was asking me like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, why?
How do you know? What? Is it on my face? Like, am I showing?
Like, I'm
What's
fine.
wrong
And
with
he's
you?
just like, I just want to know because like we're about to go in and I want to make, like, do you even want to be doing this first of all? Because we had to get through this gate and there was a lot of people there in line trying to push through. At one point it was just, I could just picture people getting trampled and stuff. It was just low security, high amount of people. And but we got in safely. Everything was good. Inside there was so many vendors. The food was so good. Another night we went just another day we went back to the downtown in the daytime to try like the seafood. We had shrimp, we had oysters, we had red snapper, we had langoustine. Um, and then there was a restaurant across the street where they would cook all the food. It was so delicious. Like, just think like Captain Boyle. And till this day, my boyfriend is watching YouTube videos of there because by 3. So we got there at like 10 a.m. one of the days that we went downtown to just eat food. And by 3 p.m., my ankles were swelling up. I needed to go back to the resort, and he just like, okay, just 3 more hours because that's when the churros come out. I'm like, I'm not staying here any longer. Like
I know your ankles are swollen as hell, but I have to get my churro.
Just like first I was like,
not the churro.
Sitting down, I was getting cranky, and he's just like, okay, like just because we decided to do this on our last full day. And he had been begging us to go, and because we had gone to the carnival 2 days before, we wanted like a break, whatever. So he just feels like he didn't do enough, and I feel bad, and we'll go back.
Did he get his churro?
He didn't get his churro that day, but he got a churro on the trip. When we went to the carnival, we had a churro. We had tacos, we had shrimp on a stick, we had all this candy, like chill. Like, it's not like he didn't get anything.
Okay, so
we had ceviche. We had such good food. Even on the resort, it was so good. I highly recommend going to anywhere in Mexico, really. Like, my next trip is definitely going to be Cancun for Mexico, because the water apparently on the Caribbean side is much nicer, but it was still beautiful.
Always nice. When we went to the Dominican, the water was beautiful.
Yeah, and
even when we went to Cuba,
that's the thing. Cuba's known for their water.
Great,
infamous for their food, famous for their beaches. So yeah,
like
I had a great time. We had drinks. His brother's just hilarious, and he socializes a lot. So we're talking to a bunch of people. I can hear my boyfriend and his brother using the Spanish that they learned, and it was
trash.
It was a struggle, but at least they tried.
At least I don't even bother trying. I'm like, my accent
I'll just
is
be
so
like,
bad, like I can't.
And like just the typical hola.
Whenever I go any Spanish country, I swear people just assume that I'm
Buenos dias,
and they always want to talk, and I can give you 3 words. I can't do.
But that's the thing is, I want to try, but then you're gonna come back with something, and then I'm like, no hablo. I hit them with the no hablo, and then that's it. They're just disappointed.
When I went to Colombia, this guy like would not drop. He's like, you look like you're from here. I'm like, I'm from Haiti. Like, I don't know what to... I'm from Canada, number 1, and I'm Haitian descent. I don't know what to tell you. And he's like, oh, you're from Haiti? Like, and I was just like, yeah, but, like, I don't speak Spanish. Like, I speak French. I'm like, you want to talk to me in French? Because I'll talk to you in French.
Yeah,
like,
I would much rather speak in French than Spanish. What?
God,
I wish
French
I could...
so bad.
But I can hold it down way better than in Spanish.
Yeah, for sure. Jeez. Like, stop this. Please, please. Please don't embarrass us both. Like, don't do this. Like, every time I'm like, why are you doing this to us? Like, you really just want to embarrass me.
Oh my God. But the people are so nice, honestly. The customer service was so good. And like, we were thinking of doing an Airbnb, but it's just more convenient to have the resort having unlimited food and drinks, and
can't do Airbnbs anymore.
Because of Colombia?
No.
Colombia?
We stayed. So, okay. When we went to Colombia, I went to Bogota first, and we stayed at a really nice Airbnb. It was kind of like the middle part, like when you go in, like there's like a garden, and like there's no roof on the top. So like in the middle of the like where we were staying, yeah, kind of, and like you could see like it rained a lot. So like it rained like almost every other day, but when it would rain, you could see it inside and all that. Like, it was really green. It was really pretty. And then when we went to Cartagena, we also stayed at an Airbnb, but it was inside of a hotel. Like, it was a hotel that they Airbnb out, like certain rooms. And like, it wasn't bad. I had no issues with that. I just, after like all the reports about issues with the Airbnbs, cameras, people like breaking in, people like, I just don't want to risk it. I feel like at a hotel, I just feel a lot more safe because there's so much like CCTV cameras, there's security. Like, if something happens to me on the hotel, like on the hotel property, someone's going to know about it. As opposed to being in an Airbnb, like anything could happen. And I'm especially if I'm not in if I'm in a place that I'm not familiar with, like I'm I'm not comfortable.
I feel safer at a resort,
Me
not gonna
too.
lie. Because then we could go downtown whenever we felt like it. And then when we didn't feel like being downtown and just having food downstairs, it was
Yeah.
just so convenient. So
Yeah.
I
I mean, at the Airbnb we stayed at in Bogota, we had this guy, I think his name was William, I don't remember, but he was like a door guy, like a concierge or whatever. So he could he helped us get everything we needed. He didn't speak any English, but he really tried to help us out, and he was super sweet. And like he made sure that we were back, and like he like made sure that like we were safe and stuff. So like it was okay, but it was just like, I don't know. I just feel like the hotel is just a lot.
That reminds me of when when people go out of their way to make sure you have a good time in their town. When I went to LA with a friend, maybe this was the first or second night, we took a Lyft or an Uber to this restaurant, and I guess because he found my friend like very attractive, he literally took us on a tour of LA that night, took the meter off, and he paid for drinks. Like, he brought us everywhere, and I had such a good time. And he definitely made LA like so much better than it would have been. LA is awesome though. I would recommend anyone go to LA, but he made it so much better to the point where I felt like if I went to any other city, any Uber driver should be like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn the meter off."
Now she's just adding on to what
adventure
Uber.
With us.
It wasn't enough that Uber had water for you in their car. You want them to be out here on their own dime, taking you on a tour of the city.
Listen, and I don't even think he was from LA, because most people are not from LA that are in LA, but he represented that city very, very well. I had a blast.
That's hilarious.
Had a blast. Oh, also we went to this club, and it was a karaoke bar.
Okay.
But the way the people that were doing the karaoke were, it almost felt like there was just live performances happening. They were so good. I completely forgot that it was a karaoke thing.
Oh, wow.
And I almost felt like I didn't belong at some points, because although we were at a black bar, which is already
in LA,
okay, yeah, which is already nice, because I feel like it's rare in Ottawa that you're at a place where it's just like majority black people. But then there's a difference between Canadians and Americans.
100%. 100%.
So, I was literally like, I don't know if I fit in here. And they kept calling us Valley Girls the whole time we were there, just to find out that it's basically like
a white black.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my God, you're so whitewashed. Are you from the Valley?" And you're like, "I'm actually Canadian." They're like, "Say less."
But I love saying that I'm Canadian. Literally, Canada has such a good
Oh my God,
rep.
I love it. I know.
Anywhere in the world, you'll just be like, "Oh, they're first." Like, if they see you, you're black. They're just like, they're gonna expect you to say American or some shit. And then the second you say Canada, everyone's so happy to hear that. So.
Yeah, because even Americans don't like Americans. Like, they don't like each other. That's why they're always shooting each other.
Yeah. So I had a great time in LA, and I also went to Miami, and I had a great, we need to go to Miami, because we've never been to Miami.
Well, I mean, our family lives in Fort Lauderdale. So
yeah.
But I'm going to Vegas.
You're going to Vegas in May?
In May.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Vegas in May, and less than 3 weeks later, we're going to Florida, because we have a family thing. So that's going to be fun.
Yep.
And we always have fun when we go to Florida, except when we went to that. I mean, so we went to a club in Florida. Mm-hmm. And it was great. Like, we had a good time. We went in. Everything was great. And I was a little taken aback that y'all just smoke in your clubs like that. I was like, oh, shit, y'all smoking. And these really nice girls invited us to their section. Yep. Like, we had a good time. It was like a vixen party, so there's a lot of porn stars. But whatever. And then everything was great.
Everything was great.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like I hear screaming, yelling, whatever, and I'm just like, what's happening? And people are like dispersing, and we're standing like in the booth, and the booth is high, like it is high up. And like my sister's like, I think they're fighting. And I'm like, no, we're having a good time, whatever, who cares? And then my sister's like, Kim, there's a fight. And I'm like, oh shit, we're in the States. And we're not just in the States. We're in Florida. And everybody knows Florida is...
Florida man.
Just Google Florida man on whatever day you want, and you'll find a crazy story. Just Google it. And then my sister's like, we gotta go. My sister literally.
No, this is when I had a good ankle.
Yeah, this is pre-operation, pre-broken ankle in 3 places, pre all that. Climbs over the booth, leaps off, leaves me behind. I'm wearing like these very high heels. Thank God these 2 guys came as I was trying to like jump off with my ginormous heels, so they like helped me down.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, they were so nice. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Thank you."
Yo,
She's running.
Was out.
She was running. I'm trying to like go out like, with these ginormous like 12. They're like 8-inch heels. Like they were so high. Back when I could wear heels like that, I can't do that anymore. I'm old now. I got a bad back, bad knee.
Was Taina there too?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
And then so as we're like coming out, there's like an entrance, but there's another club on one side. There's like a big vestibule, and then there's the club where we were, and then there's stairs. These guys are fighting. All of a sudden, there's blood everywhere. I don't even know what happened. Somebody had a knife. I don't know. Blood everywhere. I don't even think we thought. We just took the stairs and left. Wound up in a different club because there was like,
it was like 2 in 1.
It was like 4 in 1 because there was the one club that was beside the one that we went to, and then when you go down the stairs, there was another club. Yeah. Took us through this like weird maze of people partying, trying to get out. It was a mess. And
like it's all fun when you're out of town, out of the country until shit pops off. And
because it was terrifying. Because like if shit popped off in Ottawa, I would hop in the next cab and go home. Right. But I don't know where I am. So like we literally had to like, and then we walked forever because we got out at the other end because the clubs were so massive that when you get out, you're no longer on the same road. Walk all the way back to meet our family to go back. Florida's lit, but stay aware
it's
because
too hot there. People are in heat. Oh. People are angry. People are partying all the time. People are on all sorts of drugs all the time. It's like if it's too lit, everyone's on drugs, and if it's too boring, like freaking Sudbury, everyone's on drugs.
Yeah.
Like, make up your mind, people.
No, but Florida needs to calm down. Like they need to take it down several notches.
It's such a fun place to be.
Yeah. I mean, I only went out once. That was enough for me. I kind of feel like I a little traumatized, but it wasn't the first time I saw someone go out again. So,
yeah, we should go out again in Florida when we go.
I mean, I felt like we were going to.
I mean, we're going for a party, but Haitian parties. Like,
first of all, the Haitian party will be fun. I will eat there. We can pre-drink and then we can go.
Yeah,
and then we'll leave. No one cares.
No one cares.
They literally don't even know we're there.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about Northwest.
Oh God.
On TikTok because she has a very popular TikTok, as she should. Kim appears on it like every other video. And so a year ago, Kanye was like losing it again as per usual, right on time. Every other year, like he just loses it.
Every 8 months, like clockwork.
So and the worst thing about Kanye is within the mess, he says some valid things.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying because he just gets us every time. I'm just like, he said that though. Like he just dropped a little jewel, but
and then he says outrageous things and you're like, damn it, Kanye, I'm on your side. Like you're making me look bad.
So basically he was saying how he really was against North being on TikTok. And as his dad, like as the dad, he has the right. It's crazy because I guess growing up with a single parent, everything my mom said was the rule. Like there's no argument, there's no one to contest. She makes all the rules. But when it's a 2-parent household, or if you're co-parenting and you're in different households, things don't go the way you want them to. So obviously she's letting North be on TikTok, do whatever she wants to do. Well, she went on Angie Martinez's podcast and she was saying how like my kids don't know anything, like they're sheltered. North has a TikTok account, but it's on my phone. Like it has to be approved by me. So then like a few days ago, I see a video of North dressed as Ice Spice, who's the rapper, like a huge rapper right now, famous for her song Munch. And she's not like a good influence on kids. She's a rapper and she talks about like sexual things. And so North was dressed up as her, doing a little dance, acting like her with her one of her friends. I'm like, okay, I guess, but like, I'm surprised your mom let you. That's like if I was 9 years old dressed up as Little Kim back in the day.
Okay, but dressed up as Ice Spice. Ice Spice wears freaking tracksuits.
Yeah, I know, but she's known for twerking. She's known for like saying sexual things all the time.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the dress part, like she's wearing
Well,
a tracksuit.
at one point she turns around and it looks like she's trying to twerk. So I'm just like, okay.
Please insert the Tina twerking
Yeah, like Bob's Burger type of thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. And then the next video, she actually is with Ice Spice. And I'm just thinking, why would you let your 9-year-old make a TikTok video, especially knowing that the dad doesn't even want the kid on TikTok? And then next thing you know, you have her on TikTok with like this rapper that raps about guys going down on you. Like, to me, it just didn't make sense. I know I'm not a parent. So, you know, when I have my 9-year-old and she's like, let's make TikToks, like, I'll really see what it's like when that happens. And my sister's biggest thing was like, well, we were listening to crazy music when we were that age, which is true. We were listening to Little Kim.
I mean, my dad particularly is a really big rap guy. Like, he loves, especially old school rap. So, like, I grew up in the car with my dad or even with mom listening to, like, the worst rap music you can let your children listen to.
But if you were like, hey dad, I want to be a drug dealer, what would he say?
Okay, but it's my dad, so he'd be like, say less, I'll help you. Like, make sure you re-up through me. Like, I know my dad. Like, I don't think my dad would stop me from that.
Okay, and what would your mom say?
Mom would have a heart attack,
exactly.
as she should. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that. All I'm trying to say is it's hard to stop your kids from doing things that all their friends are doing.
Okay, but it's hard to stop your kids from listening to the music they want to, but you let this woman in your house.
I mean, she let Cardi B in her house too.
You let Cardi B in your house. You let this woman in your house. You let her take a video with her. So it's not like you don't, like, this is you parenting. This is what you're doing. This is what you allow.
I feel like for her, because she's a parent, she's like, oh, my daughter likes Ice Spice. Let me let them meet. Like, I don't think it's like, I feel like they are those people that are like, oh, my kid loves this, so I'm gonna, like, her daughter was into JoJo, whatever her name is, and they, like, I'm not saying that, like, obviously, like, you have to know what to like, you need to be the person to decide what's acceptable for your kids. Because
if that's what your daughter who your daughter looks up to, then she's gonna want to do what's the those girls do.
Her looking up to Ice Spice and her looking up to her mom, who has her whole vagina on.
But she's not. But she's not promoting that, and she's actually hiding it.
She might not be promoting it, but she's always naked. Doesn't change anything. How every single promotional thing that Kim Kardashian does, whatever she's trying to promote, whatever business it is, it always ends with her being nude. So at the end of the day, you are someone who's very sexually free. Obviously, your kids are going to be into that. Like, that's just what it is.
Listen, I don't think she was doing that at 9 years old. So I just want to go back to the fact that this kid is 9 years 100%. Old. Like, she's not even in junior high. She's in elementary school. That's just... She didn't even get her period yet. You
don't know her life. I'm just kidding. I'm totally
You're wilding out, and it just shows that, like, you are your environment, and she's gonna be a socialite just like her mom. She's gonna be just like her mom.
The thing is, she's gonna be just like her mom. I feel like that whole family is, except for Chloe, is very much wanting to be friends with their kids. Like, look at how they talk to their mom. Like, they're very much like I feel like they forget that you have to be a parent first and like not even a friend until your kids are adults. So, like, and that's how we grew up. Like, my mom would tell us all the time, I'm not one of your little friends. Facts. She wasn't. And now when she wants to be friendly, I'm like, I thought you said we weren't friends.
Especially if the father of your child is saying they don't want your daughter doing that, and then you go and post that, it's like it makes you look worse.
Yeah, facts.
And yeah, at the end of the day, Kanye West, you goofed because you married Kim Kardashian and you had kids.
But also, let's not pretend like Kanye didn't come out here and say terrible things that he should have never said that his kids will have to hear one day. Why would you fix yourself and go on the internet and tell the world that your wife was going to abort your child? Your daughter's going to hear that one day.
I mean, your daughter might hear that from her mom one day saying that she should have.
I mean, my mom said that
when she gets in an argument with you. So I don't know, but like, yeah, Kanye West is not an angel, but I just think when it comes to his kids, he should have more of a say, because they're going to be famous regardless. So why are you pushing them
to grow up more than they need to? Like, they could be famous and still be kids.
You weren't in the spotlight when you were 9 years old. Right. Your dad was probably so against that. I'm sure your mom wouldn't have minded, because her mom was always about that life.
Yeah, when she was naked and her mom's like, "You're doing great, sweetie." Like, bro.
I'm pretty sure her mom is the reason why the tape was leaked. Like,
100%. 100%.
Her, Ray J, and Kim all worked together to make a whole production out of that. So
yeah, her mom even made her reshoot some stuff because she didn't look good enough.
I heard. Like, she just, honestly, I know we always want to be the best of our parents, but sometimes we still carry some of the bad traits that our parents.
I mean, I'm 100% firm believer that daughters pay for their father's sins. So
I was gonna say, doesn't he have all girls? But no, he has 2 boys and 2 girls.
His kids are gonna pay for that. All their like, regardless. Like, at the end of the day, how other people parent their kids is not really like. It's not for me to judge. Like, it's not
for me to judge. But if you're if you're putting it out there, then we can all judge.
True.
Okay.
And also, if you if you're a spotlight person, like you live in
you're
their whole entire their bread and butter is putting themselves.
They probably
out
want us to be talking about this right now.
100%. Now we're talking about that. We just spent 30 minutes on this. I mean, we don't have that kind of platform.
I'm just on Kanye's side. I never thought I would be on Kanye's side, but I'm on Kanye's side for this one.
I mean, I agree. Like, if you guys are on 50-50 parenting, like, us is different. Like, for me, like, nobody cares what my dad had to say. Like,
yeah.
Shut up. Like, what the hell? Stop talking. But, like, if you're a parent who's actually involved in your kid's life and you're present and you've been there forever, like, obviously your opinion should matter when it comes to raising your kids. Like, let's be real. Like, it's not fair to only listen
and
to
it makes Kanye look bad, because she's a kid and she's just like, I want TikTok. And the mom's like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, your dad doesn't want you to have TikTok. It's like,
F him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, I feel like that's true too. Like, I don't know. Me personally, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't care. Like, I don't really watch. First of all, I have TikTok and I very often forget to even go on it.
I always forget to go on it, but it's literally Instagram.
Yeah.
It might even be a superior Instagram, honestly. You liked Vine and stuff too, so I'm surprised that you don't
Vine.
like talk.
I was a
maybe
huge
because
Vine fan.
It was introduced as more of a childish app, but everyone.
Also, like, I'm not down to do TikTok dance. You're never gonna catch me doing a TikTok dance.
It's known for TikTok dances, but everything is on TikTok.
At the grown age of 33, I'm gonna pass.
All right, I also wanted to talk about reality TV shows.
The lowest common denominator of TV.
Because it's my favorite type of show to watch when I don't want to think. I just want to watch the TV, have it on the back. I've been watching
your brain off more than watching.
And I grew up watching like versions of either like a talk show, reality TV earlier. Maury Povich, Jerry Springer, Judge Judy,
Ricky Lake,
Tyra Banks.
Yep.
We watched so many shows like. And one of my favorite reality TV shows back in the day was The Real World. That was like my top reality TV show.
Oh my God. Me and you, Real World. Remember when we binge watched, I don't know how many seasons? Like, just me and you.
And I don't know if you've ever watched The Real World. If you have never heard of The Real World, you're probably too young to be watching or listening to this. But basically, they would get like 7 people to go into this house.
Yeah, 7 boys, 7 girls go into the house.
No, that's way too many. It's probably like 5 and 5.
Yeah, okay, maybe 5 and 5.
To go into this house and live their life. Like, they had to get jobs. A lot of them would get into romantic relationships. Like, think Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but less, like, dialed back. Less.
It's
kind of hard to say because they still partied. They still drank. They got into fights.
Yeah.
But I feel like the whole like Italian twist, it was just extra like character.
I was never into Jersey Shore.
I loved Jersey Shore. Maybe it's the 2 age difference, but like
I
started clubbing when I was 19, Jersey Shore was like popping off. So we would watch that to pre-drink because it would end at 11.
I
then
worked
we
in
would
a
go
bar
out.
at that time, and I didn't really watch TV.
That was a phenomenon. Like, that was probably at like the peak of reality TV.
Oh, that's not true. I started watching Bad Girls Club around then.
Bad Girls Club, that was me and Diana watched that so much. I wanted to. And speaking of like celebrities or famous people influencing you, when I was a teenager or 19, 18, 17, I would watch these Bad Girls Clubs fighting shows, and I wish I was on that show so bad. I'm not even a fighter. I don't know how. I don't think I've ever
seen you get into a fight before.
I've gotten into, fights with you, which I lost.
Obviously.
And then I got into one physical fight with these 3 girls at the club one time at Junction with my ex-boyfriend.
That's shocking to me.
Yes, and like did decent because there was this fat girl, literally just tip her over, she's gone, bye.
She's like,
my ex-boyfriend handled one girl, and then this other girl that was actually like coming for me, I took a beer bottle.
Oh, girl.
Took I don't know why I was trying to empty it, but I was trying to bottle her. Like,
oh my God.
I always heard of people bottling people, and that's what I wanted to do. You could have
went to jail.
I took my heels, I was like jamming it into her thigh. She took one of my tracks. This is when I had clip-ins. There's probably still a track of mine at Junction somewhere in the crevices.
In the crevices.
And thank God one of my friends was friends with like the owner, and because usually when there's a fight that breaks up, they will kick out everyone that was in the fight, whether you started it or not.
Yep.
But thankfully, yeah, I had to connect, so they got kicked out. But yeah, I've been in a fight before, so I thought that I could square up with anyone.
Face's like,
but
yeah, put me on Bad Girls Club.
Would have whooped my ass.
You would have made a fool of yourself.
I would have gotten beat. And you know, American girls too, like, they're the ratchet of the ratchet. Like any girl that thinks she's ratchet in Canada, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
American girls, I would never fight an American girl. I don't care. Listen,
I would never get into a fight in the States because, first of all, Americans got guns and shit.
Exactly.
I'm good. Like,
I'm sorry. If a little, like, white girl came up to me here, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever, let's go. And honestly, I would feel bad because I would think that I could win. But even if it was a little white girl in the States, like, I'm not fucking
It's a no.
It's a setup. It's a setup, and I am taking no parts in that altercation. Like, I will run around like a bitch. I'm running away.
Like, girl, why? Let's talk about it. Why? What do you mean you want to fight? Like, you're so pretty. Stop.
And actually, one time, oh my God, this is like one of my high school best friends, guy friends. Me and his girlfriend at the time were not good at all. And one time we went to Crazy Horse, and she had an attitude with me. She started yelling at me, and she was like, basically trying to act like we're gonna fight. And I was like, are you sure you want to fight? Because, like, I will knock you out right. I've never
shocking
knocked anyone. Like, the confidence that I had. Oh my God. And she was such a little girl.
Liquid courage,
oh my God.
bro.
We didn't end up fighting because she knew the deal. It would have been so funny if she whooped my ass.
Right. I would have loved that. I would have been like, that's what you get.
I don't know. I feel like I'm strong, but I like I said, I fought my sister and I've lost every time. Granted, the last time I fought my sister, I was like,
yeah, we were kids.
We were like
teenagers.
But
I was 14.
Yeah, and I was
and you
12.
Were 12. Yeah.
So, but still, I don't think I could beat you.
I don't. You know, it's so funny because personally, I'm not someone who would start a fight, but I'm definitely I'm not afraid.
I ain't playing around though.
I won't back down. That's the thing. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to fight just because I don't have the energy.
But I'm a shit talker. Like, I will. Yeah, talk.
I know because I fought for you many times because of your mouth.
I will avoid to fight physically.
But
that's not my.
I'm definitely not someone who will back down, even if I know I'm not gonna win. Like, I'm like, I don't care. Like,
some girls and some people in general, they will not win a fight, but they can take a beating. And those girls are the most annoying.
Those are the worst kinds. I've gotten into a fight with a girl like that.
They will talk so much shit.
No, it's not
they
even the talk.
They will get their ass
Stacey,
beat.
I got into a fight with a girl like that, and she would not go down,
like
bro.
a roach.
I kept hitting her, and she would be like hurt and get back up. Like it didn't matter. I was like, bro, I was getting tired. Like I'm tired of hitting you,
That's the thing.
bro.
That might be the technique.
No, but it was like I'm getting tired because like you keep coming back, and she's getting fucked up, and it's just like, are you not tired of this? Because I'm
not
tired.
Embarrassed?
Are you not embarrassed? Because I'm embarrassed for you. Like, get it together. Like,
even when you were saying you had to whoop your friend's ass before,
that's exactly what I was talking about. I was trying not to like say it was that, but like that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And to me, like, I would have loved to be there because she seems like she could actually.
I mean,
if I saw her at the club, I would be scared to fight her. I would be.
I mean, she can hold her own, but like, bro, there was no way I was gonna lose a fight. Let me tell you, and it wasn't gonna be today. So, like, I was like, okay, like,
especially when you're drunk, though, and you feel bad because like you're whooping their ass, and
yeah, like it was out of hand. Like it was not necessary. It didn't need to happen. I actually regret it all the time because it really wasn't necessary.
Oh my God.
But and it wasn't like that's not the first time I've gotten into a fight with someone who just would not stay down.
Well, no, the thing is, a lot of friendships, good friendships, is like you got into an argument or you got into a fight, and now you guys are the best of friends. Facts. So,
I used to work at a bar, and I got into a fight with a girl outside the bar, and she just wouldn't stop, and she was so small, like she was like the tiniest girl, and I was like, bro, I don't want to hurt you, but I will hit you back. Like I'm not gonna
Chihuahua syndrome.
Literally Chihuahua syndrome, to the point that I was like the guys that were like at the bar were like, bro, you're fucked. Like, you need to stop. Like, your hair extensions are all over this freaking parking lot.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just bad when other people are like
everywhere,
helping her out because it's
like trying to, and like she just didn't want to stop. And I was like, bro, like at this point, I have to go because the cops are gonna come, and I'm not trying to go.
At this point, you're fighting like all your demons. Like you're not even fighting me anymore.
Elsewhere. Like Jesus, get therapy. Like, oh my God.
Honestly, I love watching girl fights. Because there have been obviously some bad situations, but for the most part, I've never really been scared of when there's a girl fight that breaks out at the club.
Yeah, fair.
Like, I'm watching the typical hairs being pulled. Depending on if there's a black person there might be a wig on the ground.
Don't fucking kill me.
But nowadays there's extensions. It doesn't even matter what you are. There's extensions. There's fucking eyelashes,
nails, acrylic nails.
Basically, yeah. Like the catfish is gone now. Like, we see your true colors.
Lashes on the floor. Like, oh my God. Like,
I've seen some vaginas.
Oh my God. Yeah, the amount of times I've seen this fight started.
Boob falls out.
The fight started. Everyone was dressed, and by the end, all the girls' clothes are ripped off.
Like, is this a porno? What is going on here?
Okay, I thought this was a fight. Like, everyone's naked. Guys are trying to save their girlfriends. I have seen so many times that a girl will be getting like into a fight, and her boyfriend is like trying to not get involved, but their girlfriend is getting fucked up, and they're like, I don't care. And they like run in and like kick someone in the face.
But I'd rather that over my boyfriend being in a fight. Because I'm coming in and I'm getting knocked out.
Okay, so I once got into anyways, I was at McDonald's downtown. Anyone who knows McDonald's downtown knows.
R.I.P. McDonald's downtown.
Oh yeah, it's getting shut down. Yeah. Or it already did, or I don't know.
But I don't know if it has already.
Anyways, anyone who's ever in the party days of when McDonald's downtown was popping, you know McDonald's, okay? And I was there with a bunch of friends, and this guy, one of my friend's boyfriends, was getting into a fight with one of the guys there, and both of us were drinking. So what do you think I did? I jumped on top of the table and jumped on top of the back of the guy, and I was like, get off my friend. And the guy was huge. Like, he was so big.
And you never know. Like, a guy could
and he was like, what are you?
Mess you up.
No, he was actually really nice. He didn't even hit me. He literally, like, basically
pulled
me off his back and was like carried me outside. I was like, ah, like you know when you pick up a tiny little human and they're just like flailing, like that was me flailing my arms and legs. I'm like, put me down. And he was like, bro, you're like.
Even growing up with guy friends, guy friends have told me like, if I get in a fight, like don't get in because like you're another liability and like it's just more stressful for me.
For them because they're like, fuck, my friend's gonna.
But in the moment, and thankfully that's never happened that my guy friends have gotten in a fight in front of me, but. I just know that because I always see there's this girl beside like, oh my God, like just like, you're so useless. I hate you.
I fucking died because I could just see you being like, what are you doing? This is like, move. Like, I'll bottle this guy.
Fights are
like,
scary. I always like just picture the worst thing happening.
That's true. That's the only bad thing
and
about having a lot of guy friends.
When we would go like the Revolt days, the addiction days at Hall, like there were a lot of stabbings and stuff.
Yeah.
And just, I'm sorry, the Arabs, like, there's always a Leb guy with a fucking knife, and it's too much. I can't. One time, I was with this guy that went to my high school, and he was, like, the big guy in our high school. I don't know if you would know him, actually. And, yeah, he got fucked up, and I remember seeing him busted eye, lip, bleeding, and he's, like, still wanting to go for round 2, and I'm like, ugh. And it was so embarrassing. He actually ended up staying at, like, Luigi's house, like, for a week because he was, I guess, embarrassed.
As he
didn't want to go to school, go to home.
Oh, he didn't go home?
Yeah, and I'm like, I hate guy fights.
Guy fights they are stressful. Like, I've seen some pretty bad fights. I know we only have 5 minutes. But when I was like 16, I was with my really good friend at the bus station waiting for my bus.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, and we're waiting for the bus, and I see this guy. Like, I went to St. Pat's. I moved to Canada, obviously, so we went to Trinity, but I still fuck with my friends from St. Pat's. So I would go hang out, and we see one of the guys from the football team who I know because one of my cousins was also on the football team, Mitch. And so, like, we are just chit-chatting, minding our business, whatever, and this guy comes in and he's smoking a cigarette inside the bus shelter, and there's like a girl with her baby, like it's freezing, like, bro, come on, go outside. So the guy that we're with is like, bro, can you smoke outside? Like, there's people here who don't want to, like, smoke outside, Yeah. Anyways, they get into like a heated exchange. The guy goes outside, comes back, and then he starts being like, he's just like making comments, and obviously guys being guys, like, the guy felt some type of way, so he steps to him, they start fighting, and the other guy stabbed the guy that I went to school with like 5 times. And I was so shocked, like I couldn't even move. Like, I was just like, holy fuck, like there was literally blood everywhere.
I went to South Keys that same day because I was seeing my boyfriend at the time, and I literally saw like the trail of blood.
Yeah, and I was like, I couldn't even move. I was so traumatized. I was like, oh my God. I actually went to court for that because I was a witness, and the cop totally snaked me out.
How? Why?
Because he forced me to be a witness. Because he's like, oh, I'm not. Basically, they shut down the whole station because of what happened. They were looking for the guy. The guy ran off on foot.
Did they ever?
Yeah, okay. I saw him in court.
Okay.
The fuck? And then the police officers like. Also, I was 16, so I was very naive, and I'm afraid of cops because I'm 16. And he's like, and like I had already missed my bus by this.
This happened when you were 16? Never mind, I was not seeing my...
No, I was 16, yeah.
Never mind.
And
must have been another time. Freaking South Keys, man.
Yeah, South Keys is known for that shit. But anyways, the cop is like, oh, if you write a statement, like, I will make sure you get home. Because at this point, I've missed the last bus in Canada, so I can't. And I'm like, he's like, I'll drive you home, and I'll tell your, like, I'll tell your mom. Because I'm like, you gotta tell my mom, because she's literally gonna beat me.
She's not gonna believe anything I say.
Anything. And like, I wrote my statement because he made me, and then he tried to finesse me, and he was like, oh, it's too far. I was like, you're driving me home. I'm not getting out of this car. You're driving me home. He drove me home, came to the door. Mom opened the door. Mom never swears. And mom was like, what the fuck? Like, she literally was like, what the hell? And I was like, tell her everything right now. Tell her before. I'm not stepping in that house without you telling her. Tell her. And he told her, he's like, yeah, no, your daughter didn't do anything. She just was waiting for her bus. This happened. She was cooperated.
Hey,
whatever.
but hold on for a second. Isn't that crazy? Like, if I was to cop, I'd be like, but why is your daughter so scared of you?
I literally told him, I'm like, she will whoop my ass. I don't give a shit.
Yo, cops don't give a shit.
I don't care. I'm like, I'm literally, like, listen, I will take my chances and get beat at home before I go to a group home. So say, like I'm not going to a group home, eh? I heard my mom told me bad things. Like, mom traumatized me. She's like, if you go to a group home, they're gonna rape you. And I was like, what? Like, they're gonna do that? Like, she would say crazy things to me. So my biggest fear was that they were gonna put me in a group home. You think I won't take this beating before I go to a group home? I just wanted him to tell her, and I still got in trouble. She got mad. She's like, you should have never been there in the first place.
Mom, please. The cops brought me home. They explained the situation. Let me be in peace.
No, I'm pretty sure she grounded me and I wasn't allowed to go outside.
Classic.
Yeah, that's mom for you.
Anyways, that's it for this episode.
Ugh, God.
Thank you for watching. Take us out.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Spicy Tales Podcast. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube. Download our episodes on Spotify and Apple Music. Like the fucking video. Rate us 5 stars. Stop being a hater.
Yeah, rate us 5 stars.
And also shout out to our producer.
Shout out to our producer, Will.
Yes, he's super chill. Please holla at him if you ever need your podcasting
Pop-up
needs.
podcast.
Yes, holla at him if you ever need any podcast, anything studio related. Holla at Will. He's cool as shit.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will.
Y'all missed his bow.